Welcome to another Promob video. Today we're going to show you how to take a sink from the catalogue 3D and how you place it into your scene. The problem that we have often when you bring in a sink from here is it won't do the cutout in the worktop. So today I'm going to show you how you can bring your sink in and how to do a cutout. It is a little bit more complicated. It is best if once you brought your sink in, got your sizes correct, is to add the sink to one of your favorites into your folders, because what we're going to have to do is do a cutout, a perforation using the sink itself, and obviously the sink will vanish, and then you have to replace the sink back in that cutout area, and then you'll have your sink in a cutout in your worktop. So what we're going to do, let's get started. I've just basically gone into the catalog, I've typed in sink, and I'm going to take this Frankie sink. It looks quite interesting. It's a nice square sink. It should work reasonably well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the sink in, and it looks tiny, so that's fine. We're going to do our own measurements on the sink. So once I've brought the sink in and we have a look, you'll see that the sink is actually very small, so we can come across here to the dimensions, and on the dimensions we can change it here. So let's make this one say a 900. So I just want to click back on the sink. So I just want to make this 900. And I'm going to make it a depth of 450. And let's give it a depth of 300. Okay, so now you can see how the sink is looking. We're going to take that sink and we're going to bring it over. Let's have a look. So that should fit nicely inside where I'm working. Whoops, sorry, that was my zooming in and out a little bit. Let's go back in. What I want to do is I actually want to move this back a bit. So I'm going to move that. That's 130. I'm going to go to the move tool, and on that 130 I'm going to move it back 70. I think let's do it 70. Sorry, 70. That gives me 90. I can move this another 10 forward, so the tap will fit in nicely. And I'm going to do it another 5. Okay, so I've got my sink in that position. Now the problem that you have with this is obviously I've got to lower it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sink, and remember we made it 300 over here. Okay, so if I drop it down 300, it's going to be inside. So let's just do that. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to take it 300 and I'm going to take it down 300, and now it's inside. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring it up 30 mil, 60 mil, and it could be working on the tap itself. So if we have a look now, that looks exactly where I want it. That's the height that I want. That is perfect for the sink. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to say add to favorites. Okay, I'm just going to call this Frankie double sink right trainer. Okay, something like that. Click over here. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say copy, and I'm just literally going to paste this in here. I'm going to go forward. There's the sink. So if you've never added something to your favorites, this is how you make your thumbnail. It moves the same way as in your 3D. Okay, so I want to make it look a little bit better so we'll be able to see it a bit more. We can change the quality. We can go in. I'm going to just move the light a little bit. Have to look okay. That shows me what it is. Forward. I'm going to go to my sinks folder and I'm going to say finish. And if I go up here to my sinks folder, there's my sink over there. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this. So if I right click on it, you'll see it says perforate. If I perforate, it now makes the hole of where the sink is going to be. Okay, and now I'm just going to bring my sink back in to as close as I can, and I'm going to let go. And you'll see that my sink has now come in. And sorry, on my other screen I've got a positioning tool that came up automatically, so I can position it. I know that the positioning is going to be slightly out because I've already done the cutout, so I'm just going to say okay. And now what I can do is, if you have a look, you'll see it's actually quite high, which is fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down. So we're going to start bringing it down till we get to almost where we want to be. Okay, and now I can actually start moving it around. So I'm going to move it to the back. Okay, and if you look, the cutout was a little bit bigger, which is fine because we're going to adjust, because it was working with where the tap was. So normally if you don't have a tap connected, it'll run this exactly where we want it. The problem that we have is with the tap, it's done the cutout including the tap space. So now I've got to make the sink a little bit bigger. If you don't have a tap attached, it'll just cut out the size of the actual sink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to properties. I'm just going to make this a little bit wider. So I'm going to make this 500. And now I can actually move this into where I want it. Let go there. And you'll see we're a little bit out, but that's fine. We can still make it a little bit more. Going to make that 530. And if you look now, we're almost there. We've just got to move it 5 mil. Let's try moving it 5 mil this way. Make sure that we're not getting any little spaces. And if we're going to get on that side, okay. So what we can do there is we can move this 5 mil back. And if you are getting a little bit of an edge like that, come back down to your properties, and where you've got your 900, we can just make that 910. Oh, did not do it that size. 910. And now I can move it to 5 mil over, and you won't have any gaps or anything around it. Okay. We can probably drop this down. If you look, maybe we can try 2 mil. And there you are. You've got your sink and everything fitted. Open the doors. If you look underneath, your sink and everything is fitted. And you've actually added a sink that doesn't do an automatic cutout. You've actually created your own cutout. And in your favorites library, you'll have a series of different sinks as you build those up. Ones that you may be not using with inside Promob's catalog. I hope this has helped. I will be making more of these, but I'm hoping that this is showing you some extra things that you can actually do inside Promob. And thank you for watching.